Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Bryce Koon. That's Ralph Leary on the screen. What a day. What a day. Frame rates dropping, storming in East Baton Rouge Parish. There we go. We get the layout. It's the Crowded Booth here on a Sunday night talking a little college football week 6 recap. It was nuts. It was crazy. Make sure to stay along with us. Like, subscribe. We'll be back here in about 30 seconds.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.
Welcome in. My name is Bryce Koon. We appreciate you tuning in here on a Sunday evening. If you're watching live or watching this right after the fact, we appreciate you over there on the YouTube channel. Give us a like, subscribe, set up those notifications so you know when we drop the latest content. And for all of you getting those audio listens in, continue to do that. It is, I didn't tell you guys this. I did tell Gavin, but it is, we hit a record in the month of September. Why did I say that so weird? September. We hit a record in the month of September for audio downloads. So hats off to the people listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and this group of people listening in Singapore on iHeartRadio. That's awesome. I don't have iHeartRadio, and I don't even know what it is. So there we go. And I did not, actually. I did not take a nap tonight. But, Will, have you ever used iHeartRadio?
I have. It's been a long, long time, like middle school, like 15 years ago, I used iHeartRadio.
I feel like, and Ralph can attest to this, when we were in high school, you would be like in study hall or whatever, or, you know, you'd have your like time period where you try to listen to music. And if you didn't have Spotify Premium, which was like the thing to have at that time, you would use Pandora to get as many songs as you could before that skip, but you had to be strategic about it, how many you would skip. But I do remember there was this website that had, and Will would love this, it was like 2000s, 1990s to 2000, like 95 to 05 country. And you could just keep, it was like a playlist. I don't know what website this was, but it was awesome. It was great. So I loved it. And, man, I don't know. So, yeah, I'm sitting here talking about this. And, see, you got to tell the people not to look at the comments there as well. But anyways, lock it in. We appreciate you watching. Appreciate you listening. We're talking college football. It was a crazy week number
Ops
6.
in the chat, as middle
What'd you
school taught me. Ops in the chat.
Ops in the chat. That's for sure. I mean, Ralph, let's Zach, yes. Running out of skips on Pandora was the top 5 worst feelings back then. It was terrible.
When you were like in high school, you had the student account you could have on Spotify. And and you're like $5 a month for Spotify Premium.
I didn't have that. I was trying to pay for gas and other things. But anyways, I digress.
Please do.
You are, Dev. You're the ops. Will, when you were okay, I will say this, because the way to get around this, and the kids nowadays won't know this, was just to go to YouTube and have it in the background and just watch the music videos. That I sat down the other day and I kind of forgot that people still do music videos. When 2010s, like 2005 to like 2015, 15's probably pushing it. Those music videos hit, and you were in your feelings too. That was when Twitter was straight up utilized to just tweet lyrics about how you felt. That Twitter account's deleted for me. I got rid of that one a long time ago.
Jeez. Can we talk about how like when you were younger though, you had iPod Nanos and iPod Touches, and you had to buy all your songs. It was 99 cents per song.
Remember the shuffle? That was when you had a screen?
I didn't have a shuffle.
I had the
It was
shuffle.
just that little square.
I had the one that was like
I had the shuffle.
It was tiny.
We're talking about different tax brackets here.
Yeah,
I had the little one that had like the screen out that big.
Ralph's family made the iPod Touch. What are we talking about? They got sick of these buttons that the unwashed masses were having to push. He wanted the Touch itself. No, Ralph, I do remember. Y'all remember the Gangnam Style music video? Yeah, Dev, you were like 4. I mean, we were 14, 15 at that year. Maxwell, I had the OG Nano. Let me see.
Is that one that had a clip on it where you could clip it to your shirt right here?
Y'all will love this. Do you know what I bought because it went on sale? And I didn't know you could do this on the Nano. My iPod Nano, I had the OG one. I don't even remember what year this was, but it was the game where the Braves came back from like 9 runs down to beat the Reds, and Brooks Conrad hit the walk-off grand slam. Do you guys? What year was that? Like 11?
Something like that.
Something like that. Like that. That was me. That was me.
I had the old iPod shuffle that was about just like a rectangle, about that long,
Yeah.
and then had the little square.
Y'all remember the cookie clicker? I have
don't
no
know.
idea what a cookie clicker is, unless you're utilizing the name of something. That's what you called it. Was crazy. Alex, I remember my Spanish teacher in the 4th grade made us watch What Does the Fox Say in Spanish every single class, which was 1 a week. I hate that. Y'all remember Cut the Rope? I do.
Yep.
Fruit Ninja?
I don't remember Creek Cooler. I don't know this one.
Fruit Ninja was.
Fruit Ninja,
Fruit
was,
Ninja was
I spent hours on Fruit Ninja.
the LG. Oh, the phone. Yes. I'm about to pull this up. Y'all don't remember this phone? For some reason, I didn't understand what he was talking about. Now,
I
look,
heard of that.
we can talk about what was first phone. Mine was the Juke. Y'all remember the Juke? The thing that
I remember,
this thing that
My
I
mom
remember
had
that phone. I remember that phone very well. A lot of broken hearts from that phone.
a lot of broken hearts. A lot of broken hearts. Shout out the Evangel Temple Youth Group.
That's right.
Don't
run on Wednesday.
We hit 10,000 subs on this channel. I'll release that video. That's what we'll do.
You won't release it. I have to release
I'll
it.
yes. I miss Blackberries. Y'all remember the OG Razor? Not this new one they've tried to put out. I remember knocking on someone's door and running off. Don't remember what they called it. It was Ding. What was it?
Ding Dong Ditch.
Okay, so I did this in the bowels of Pine Mountain, Georgia, and had a Harris County's deputy come up, and this lady walked out with an axe, and she was very scared. And so it's just story time, by the way. So we welcome you into the show. We were my friend and I were ding dong door. What is it called? Ding dong ditching. Ding dong ditching. We took off. We were in Pine Mountain, and we tried to run back to his house. Well, anyways, we ended up getting caught on the way back. And yes, this is a football show, by the way. We ended up getting caught, and we got like just chewed out by this state patrol. What is state patrolman? What Harris County has? What just a bunch
Sheriff.
of. It wasn't Sheriff Jolly.
Deputies,
I don't know who it was.
I guess.
But does Ralph own a light? No, we already talked about this. Ralph didn't pay his bill this week, so he's there. We go. Anyways, long story short, don't ding dong ditch, because you never know what's going to happen. This lady's husband had like passed away like a month or two prior. I mean, it was just one of those things. It's just bad. It's just bad. So yeah, we
Matthew Lang and I did that one time and left a Frosty at somebody's door.
Was it a real Frost, or is that code name for something else?
No, it was a Wendy's Frosty.
Does Ralph own oh, not that one. Were y'all the generation that used Heelys? Dude, I bought Heelys. Never wore them.
I had
never
one
wore
when
them.
I was like really young, and I think I wore them about 3 or 4 times, and then my mom took them away from me.
This person might watch this show. Ralph knows who this person is. I don't know if they do, but when I was in college, we had this guy, and he's massive Tennessee fan, huge Tennessee fan.
He's not
And
watching this.
well, I don't think I've ever told you this. So he's wearing Heelys, okay? All right, and I went to Barry. Like, you had some kids that were, I mean, Alex knows, he went to school there. We had some kids that were like very much sheltered when they got to college, like very, very much sheltered to a very extreme extent. And so, Maxwell, we will get to this.
Yeah,
Out of Kroger Heelys. This is where we're going with this, by the way.
that don't surprise me.
So, anyways, we had a Snapchat group of like all the guys that lived on our hall. Okay, so long story short,
Release the.
he wore Tennessee Heelys, bright, neat orange Heelys, white soles. And this is in 2016. Like, this is way past the prime of what Heelys were. But like some counties in the South, like Harris County, shout out Harris County, they didn't get Uggs till like 4 years later. So these people were behind in terms of what they were doing. So, yeah, there you go. There you go, Sam. So, anyways, this kid, he's coming out of like one of the buildings at Barry. I think it was Cook is the name of the building there, Alex. He falls down the ramp and is laying on the ground. He has pulled his hamstring on Heelys. Malcolm, we are having real conversation right now. I appreciate your real question. He pulls his hamstring on Heelys, by the way, and sends a Snapchat story group post to everyone of him laying on the ground looking up at the sky saying, I need someone to come take me to the nurse or the doctor on campus or whatever. One of the craziest things, there's a lot of more stories about him. He's an interesting character. We'll just start releasing personal stories the more subscribers we get, pretty much. Fight necklaces were amazing.
Yeah.
The black one was the OG one, though, right? Like, that was the OG
Yeah, the
fight
original
necklace.
one.
Then you'd get one, whatever team.
The
about
twisted
the,
ones. Remember the twisted ones?
Oh, like the braided?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about the power balance bracelets?
God, dude. And we all thought that was a real.
All that was a sticker on a piece of rubber. That's all that thing was. Crazy. It was a Trip. We're having a good time, man. We're having a good time, Trip. We'll talk some football, though. That was good. That's good stuff. Do we think recent decommits were from kids getting pulled elsewhere? We'll talk about that tomorrow night, by the way, on the Swarm Talk episode. Okay, let's dive in here. Nike Elite Socks. Dude, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I was prime Michael Jordan.
No.
Yeah. Nike
Not-
Elite Socks
not
are
at
great.
all.
Okay, let's lock it in. Talking about a couple of games, and I want to start off with one. Gavin, you can hit the mark right here in terms of the timestamp. I want to talk about what in the world just happened in Gainesville this weekend. Let's start here. Florida stuns Texas. We have now come to the realization that Texas finally played somebody else, and it's not good what's happening over there. The one thing I'll say this, and I watched Florida up close and personal one time already this year, and I know you guys, I don't know your thoughts on this, but this was always a question for Florida if offensively they could do things. Because defensively, they've been fine. Like, they've been okay defensively. It literally has just come to the point, could you offensively do anything? It's a question for a lot of teams, right now. And Florida, man, they put together that, balanced effort on Saturday. And look what happened. They end up beating Texas. Now, Texas has some serious issues. We can talk about that, but this is on Florida's perspective. Let's start here. There's a lot we could talk about. Florida puts it together offensively. They do some really good things. DJ Lagway, I got the stats right here. First off, Jaden Ball might be one of the best, if not the best, running back in the SEC. He's a really good football player. 107 yards on 27 carries. That is really, really big. But coming out of the bye week, they looked rejuvenated. Lagway had his best game by far, just shy of 300 yards, 21 of 28 passing. He did have the one interception and 2 touchdowns. What I'll say about this is that's great. Awesome. I'm proud. I'm happy for these kids in Gainesville. They were able to put something together and do something offensively. But Billy Napier should not have a job at the end of the year. That's what that's my whole take on this. I don't care what they do the rest of the year outside of winning the entire SEC and winning multiple playoff games. He should not be the coach this year. So for Florida, hats off to them. They played a good game. They finally played a complete game. They gave their defense a little bit of a breather. But let's stay on Florida here for a second, Will. I don't think this changes what Billy Napier's status should be. That's my opinion.
I think it does. Certainly, depending on what they do the rest of the way. I mean, this is a huge win, a huge moment for them. But to your point, we've seen this before, right? We've seen it before from Florida. We've seen it from Billy Napier. I mean, the big thing for me that sticks out, at least about this game, is they committed to running the ball.
Yeah.
I was going to say something, but we're trying not to lose a credential, so I'll hold off. But you see what happens when you commit and stick to running the football. It takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback. Florida being able to run the ball, average over 4 yards a carry as a team, kept them ahead of the chains, made it a whole lot easier on DJ Lagway, and that's a big reason why he had such a good game.
Yeah.
And we knew Florida's defense was really good, and they came out and showed it. I mean, they held Texas to 3 of 11 on third down, just 52 rushing yards. Texas, I think Florida is the story more than Texas.
Florida, like I said, Florida's defense, Ralph, has been their strong suit because the offense has been so bad. But in terms of what the Gators are able to do, this is complimentary football. A lot of coaches have been talking about that over the past couple of weeks. I agree with some of the people in the comments. I do disagree with Will. I don't think this should save Billy. You'd have to go on some kind of crazy run that really means something. But for one Saturday, they were able to put together complimentary offense, and like Billy Napier said, this is the team that in the offense he thought he had going into the season.
Well, yeah, this is what we all thought they were. This is the DJ Lagley we thought we were going to see all year long. This is making athletic throws, making good throws, being precise with his passes. I mean, just something that we kind of came to realization at the end of the year last year that this kid's got it. And the first 4 games of the season, or first 3 games of the season for Florida, I should say for the last 3, we hadn't seen anything of that. Obviously, week 1 against Long Island doesn't count, but against South Florida, LSU, and Miami just was not the same quarterback we've seen last year at the end of the season. And finally to see it happening, and I say it happening, it was probably his best game he's played all year. Obviously, in terms of opponent, and just kind of just being comfortable back there. And you watch it. I mean, I was at the LSU game, and he was running for his life. He made terrible throws. Didn't check down. I thought he checked down really well. They handed the ball off a lot to the running backs, and they ran the ball extremely well. They did not have to throw the ball very much in this game really to win it. They did though, but I mean, they were toting it. They were running right down Texas's throat the entire game, and I was surprised. But I'm on the fence here because Florida's schedule is not favorable still going forward.
It's not. No.
You go to A&M next weekend. You got home against Mississippi State, who's playing really good football right now. Then you got Georgia in Jacksonville one more time. You go on the road to Kentucky, probably a winnable game there. And you go to Ole Miss, come home for Tennessee, and you got Florida State.
Yeah.
Florida State with 2 losses is still a good team, in my opinion. And it doesn't look like it's salvageable at this point. For the performance for the last 3 games and what happened last year and what's happened the year before, I don't think his career is salvageable at Florida right now. And going forward, I think he's done. I think you have to get rid of him anyway. Because if you're expecting him to win the FCS game, maybe win the G5 game, they get blown out by other teams, you've got to take a stand. Like, this can't be happening at Florida every year.
When you fire a coach, what's the first telltale sign? It's the team has quit on them. This game showed that those players have not given up on Billy Napier. You look at recruiting, 10th in the country right now in recruiting. Wait a minute, I'm on 2025, not 2026. Well, there goes my point. But they didn't quit. Right?
No, I agree with Will.
They showed they didn't quit. So to me, it's too early. Too early for me to.
And I like what Billy said after the game, though. And this goes what Will said. He goes, "I'm very humbled to be coaching this group of guys right now." And I mean, it's true. I mean, he obviously, backs up their play and backs up what they've done so far this year. And they've struggled for 3 straight weeks, but showing improvement against a team that was predicted or preseason number 1. No matter how you feel about the team was preseason number 1, a lot of people's favorites to win the national championship. It's a good sign going forward. And if they continue to win, and go on a crazy run like Bryce says, the season's salvageable, and so is your career at Florida easily.
Florida's 13th right now in recruiting, 2026.
I didn't think they were that further away when you were said 10th, honestly. I thought they were pretty high up there.
You could have just stayed there, Will. We wouldn't have said anything. Look, I mean, heading into Saturday, Florida was 120th nationally in yards per play, which is a pretty good indication of what you're able to do and how you're able to sustain drives. Just under 5 yards per play. They had not put up more than 20 points since they played Long Island, which a lot of people didn't even know they had a football team until Florida put them on the schedule. This was a complete flip of the script. And a lot of times in this show we talk about, can you do a 180? Well, for one Saturday, Florida did just that. Now, the tough part about it is, can you continue to do that? Ralph, you mentioned the schedule. I don't see that happening. I think this is a really good feel-good story. But in terms of the Florida perspective of this game, we'll see what happens going forward. I need way more data points and things. But, Will, you do bring up a good point. They didn't quit. It had been very easy for them to roll out there, not do anything. And we're talking about, hey, wow, Florida just paid all that buyout money, and now they're an open vacancy. Truthfully, we said last week there could be a run, and I know we'll get to this later in the week because it's a loaded week for you. You could have had a loaded run from Arkansas to Florida to Auburn, potentially. So we'll see what happens there. Okay. I want to talk Texas for a second because this is okay. We mentioned Florida's defense is good. Like they have NFL players on their front seven.
Yep.
Arch Manning has not been good. Like, that's not a secret to anybody. There's more problems, though, on this Texas roster than just Arch Manning, in my opinion. Their offensive line got wrecked. Now, we know what they lost last year, obviously having the anchor on the outside in Kelvin Banks. But remember, Banks played banged up late in the season, so you had some of those younger guys rotate in late in the season last year. Florida's had a good game plan, I guess, but this is something for Texas. The second half started the same way that the first half ended, with Arch being sacked for 6+ yards. Florida had 6 sacks in this game. But when you went back and looked at this game, 6 sacks is a decent amount to get in one football game. It felt like he was on the run for his life.
Low number.
Oh, Lord. I knew he was going straight to win.
Yeah.
Only 6 sacks?
In terms of Texas, though, Arch, it felt like he was constantly trying to avoid pressure. And so, look, I'm not absolving, I'm not saying that he has been great. He has not. But I don't also think we can sit here and you can watch that game on Saturday and you can take away, well, Arch is terrible and that's why Texas is bad. No, they have more problems. Some of the problems that people had and concerns about people had in the offseason about them, how do you replace everything you had last year? I've been talking about this a lot lately. It's an offseason problem that has crept into the regular season. And so for Texas, for me, this was an opportunity for them to make a statement that week one could be an outlier. Instead, they just lay an egg, and I don't know really where they go from here. They're going to walk straight into the Red River Shootout next weekend against an Oklahoma team that's going to be amped. Texas, I think, from our friends at FanDuel, is an early favorite in that game.
3.5.
Which is
Insanity.
Nuts to me. So I leave it open to you. We've talked about Florida. Now we talk about Texas. Will, we'll go back to you on this. Am I crazy for saying that this Arch hasn't been good, but this loss is not totally on him? Texas has bigger problems.
No, it's not totally on him. Texas just got manhandled on both lines of scrimmage. And the swamp was as advertised. I think combination of the raucous environment, hostile environment of the swamp, Florida coming out and punching Texas in the mouth, Texas just had no response for it.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a lot from Texas in recent years. They're lacking the toughness that it takes, especially in the SEC, week in and week out. They're kind of lacking that. It's one conference loss, so they're certainly not out of it. So they've got a chance to respond and turn things around. But on Arch Manning, if his name wasn't Manning, he would have been benched by now. At this point, I mean, he's been bad. He's been bad.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy. Like, he even had some really good plays in this game. Like, he had a couple of throws in that second half. You're like, okay, there it is. I know he had one to Ryan Wingo, 30-plus yard touchdown pass that was just like, you're like, okay, that's what he can do. But I think even to a certain extent, and this kind of plays into what maybe you're going to talk about, Ralph, but it's almost like that Ohio State game. He and this Texas team got punched in the mouth, and for 4 weeks they've just been staggering. They've never really gotten their feet settled, and then they walk into a hostile environment, and they're down there in Gainesville, which, like you said, Will, it was rocking, and I've been down there. Like, that is a tough place to play, and credit those fans, and like you mentioned, that team not quitting. I don't feel like they settled, and I don't know if this is an effect from week one, but it just feels like they've never settled down, and we saw more continuance of that in this game.
Well, I want to kind of compare it to some team, and I want to compare it to somewhat of Clemson, because this defense was supposed to be one of the best defenses in the country, and they've looked pitiful, in my opinion, especially yesterday against Florida. I mean, Dallas Wilson tore them up.
Dude, getting him healthy's helped. Like, getting him to play, dude's unreal.
I mean, honestly, if that's all that Florida needed, I mean, this season could be turned around, like we said. But I mean, just that touchdown where he catches and the guy falls down, and he just runs freely for 40 more yards. Like, I had no problem saying that Texas was just struggling yesterday. It was a bad game, but going back and looking at some of the plays in that game, they just looked terrible throughout the entire game, both sides of the ball. I mean, I kind of agree. You can't really solely blame it on Arch. You can sometimes, when he is, running for his life and makes a bad throw. Yeah. If you're going to be the quarterback at Texas, you have to be able to throw on the run. You have to be able to, do all the important things. I mean, that's just you expect that from a guy who's at Texas. It's not You're at Texas, State, where you can't do anything but lose Arkansas State on the road. But I
mean, Ralph is feeling so good about his Sun Belt Western Division chances right now.
No, I don't.
You can't tell Ralph anything.
Nope,
tonight.
we're losing. They're losing next week. Don't worry. They play at Texas State. They're getting blown up by 50. But I want to say this real quick because I'm tired of seeing I know a lot of people are talking about, Art should be benched. And Will said this in our group message the other day. I'm not gonna, and then this is nothing against Will because Will's completely right about if he wasn't a Manning, he'd be benched right now, because I agree. You saw the one play that Matthew Caldwell took that game, and Will said that's all I needed to see. He was 1-for-1, 26 yard, a dime.
Yeah.
Why not leave him out there? I mean, that's the best play you've seen like last 3 or 4 drives. I mean, just take a chance. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to do a lot better, but he can't do much worse, right?
Yeah, I mean, and Sark has set the precedent. He said it last year. You would take Ewers out to bring Arch in.
Yeah,
for,
and he was just
spells to try to give him a spark.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand it, and I get it. You've allocated so much NIL money to this one kid, but he has done nothing for you to really, show it. He deserves that. I know it's NIL, and it's nothing like Sark's not paying him out of pocket, obviously, but it's just that I'm not impressed by Texas whatsoever. And I mean, you have to say maybe we do need to change the quarterback and give Arch a reason to be out there. Give him some more spark to get back out there, get better, and play better.
Arch needs another year at Newman. No, that's a good comment, Scott. This is where I sit with it. We put a bow on this game. For me, Arch Manning is not a 2026 draft prospect. And I don't think there's anything you can do at this point to recoup value. Texas has a subpar offensive line, and I will say this: they do have a schedule that sets up for them to be able to recoup some of the sparkle, I guess, they had in people's eyes from the season. They're going to play Oklahoma with a materialist offense. If they somehow win that game, they're going to play, I believe it's Kentucky and maybe Mississippi State there as well, which is interesting. November's brutal. You got to go to Athens, and then you're hosting Texas A&M, who looks like one of, if not the top team in the SEC right now.
You forgot the first week in November when they play Vanderbilt at home.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
They've got 2 more losses on their schedule, at least, potentially, with the way this offense is playing right now.
From what I've been told, they don't have to worry about Georgia.
There's 3 losses, I think, in the schedule, probably.
They don't have to worry about Georgia?
I'm just telling you what I've been told all weekend.
I saw what Maxwell said earlier in the show before we started. I'd still be worried about Oklahoma because that defense is playing really well. And if your offensive line
Texas needs to be worried about Oklahoma, or Oklahoma needs to be worried about Oklahoma?
Texas should be worried about Oklahoma. I mean, that's a losable game easily with how their defense.
If Texas isn't worried about Oklahoma, Sark should be fired immediately.
You were saying there's 2 more losses. I think there's 3 because Oklahoma, Georgia, and Texas A&M are easily 3 more losses on that schedule.
Going to Mississippi State right now isn't easy. Who knows?
No one knows.
I will say the Cotton Bowl gets crazy. The Cotton Bowl does get crazy.
Oh, the Cotton Bowl gets crazy.
We
know
that is for sure. That is for sure. That loose dog on the run in the parking lot was a wild time back in April. So that was good stuff.
All right. For some random...
All right, let's take a turn. Let's go to the next game here on the docket real quick before we take a break. I want to go Alabama-Vandy. Let's stay in the SEC here. Final score of this one, I thought was not really indicative of what Alabama was able to do. They held the ball. They played ball control. Vanderbilt fought really well in this game. I thought they did a good job of staying with Alabama. You kind of just saw Alabama wear on the doors kind of late in the game. That big double-digit drive, even just to get 3 points there towards the end of the game. It just took so much out of Vanderbilt to be able to get to a point, I think, to where they even had a chance to win the football game. And you kind of saw, too, this is going to be – I mean, I'm not a fan of teams that are going to be playing Vandy in the future, but it is something to kind of keep a note of, how you have to defend Pavia and Vanderbilt. Look, I think Tim Beck is a good play caller. They scheme up plays for Vandy exactly how they need to for their personnel. They know what they're trying to do. Is it going to win them every single game? No, because I don't think they have the athletes to do it. But, man, they do what they do pretty well. Let's talk Bama for a second. Let's talk the winners for a second here, because I know Will is. It's fun to talk about because Will does not like Alabama. Let's just get that out of the way.
If
Like
you
at
didn't do
all.
that, what are you
The
watching?
worse that Auburn becomes, the more he hates Alabama. Guys, I think Ty Simpson has had a pretty good past 2 weeks, in terms of what he's been able to do. You saw him just battle through some adversity in this game. Vanderbilt, we talked about in the preview of that game last week, very tenacious in their ability to get to the backfield. They got to him a couple times in the first half. Overall, Alabama has a wide receiving core that's going to help out any quarterback. Simpson has been on time in terms of what he is doing, keeping this offense on schedule. I don't think he has to be an otherworldly candidate other than that because they've got some complementary pieces. The run game needs to be better. I'll just kind of leave it to you, Will. I thought Ty Simpson played well in this game. Alabama, though, that big double-digit play drive late in the game, they leaned on him, and Vanderbilt just could not get off the field defensively.
Yeah, I'm waiting until they play a defense and can put pressure on them before I'm convinced of anything.
I mean, but Vanderbilt did get pressure on him.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Well, I mean, they had 4 sacks.
I know that's not up to your typical what you see on the box score.
That's not enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with 10. I mean, you kind of alluded that you thought Alabama was so much more dominant. You take away.
I don't think they were so much more dominant. I think they dominated in time possession and they were able to lean on them late, and Vanderbilt just couldn't get off the field. Like I don't think Vandy got dominated.
Their depth showed for sure.
Yeah.
You take away Diego Pavia's 2 red zone interceptions, this is a completely different game. Especially if they turn those into touchdowns. I mean, this is a totally different game. But, I can't talk about it.
Ralph.
I'm sick just thinking about it.
Ralph, what you got on Alabama?
I was kind of going this way anyway. I said last week that Jan Miller was to be a huge part of the Georgia game. Obviously, he wasn't like a flashy stat line, but he really kind of got his feet wet again on Saturday against Vanderbilt. Really taking the Tide back with a run game. Well, something we haven't really seen all this year alone because he's been hurt, and some of the guys behind him are a little younger, and they weren't really, they weren't used to this run game yet because they hadn't been running the ball as much. But they finally put they handed it to their number one back. Jan Miller was just all over the field. I mean, he had 22 carries, 136 yards in the touchdown, and that one touchdown was the, kind of the dagger of that game. And then, you look at I say run game, then you watch them hand off to an offensive tackle for 4 yards.
Yeah,
I mean, Cade Proctor has more rushing. I'm stopping myself. I almost said something. I was impressed, though, overall by Alabama's offense this week. And defense alone obviously made some big plays late in the game and kind of just got in Pavia's head. Just, he was running for his life, making throws, kind of on the run, off the back foot, just stuff that, he's not really been doing all year. And, that's just what Alabama does. Kane Womack had a great, game plan for them and obviously took notes from last year. They weren't letting him do what he did last year, mid-game, hold the ball forever and, go down the field, scoring some big plays. They had a quarterback that was confident in the pocket, and Alabama just kind of took the game the way they wanted to. They drove this game the way they wanted to and didn't let Vanderbilt steer it off course.
Justin Jefferson, linebacker for
played a great game, man.
Played a heck of a game.
Yeah.
Really, really good game. Had a big sack, 14 total tackles, 9 solo. I think you saw this Alabama defense really turn up the heat when they felt comfortable and in obvious downs too. Like Vanderbilt too often offensively got into obvious passing down situations. And look, they've got some guys that can, be able to do some different things, but I think just in terms of what you saw there, Alabama flexed that depth like Will talked about. And the Crimson Tide, 2 weeks ago were frauds. Now you've beat back-to-back ranked teams. You've obviously beat Georgia on the road, and the Alabama fans, feel good about themselves. So we'll kind of see what happens going forward in that. What is that?
They're still frauds.
I mean, Simpson had the interception, which I didn't even mind, by the way. It's on 4th down, so it's like it's essentially a throwaway, anyways.
I didn't like the play call though. I mean, it's 4th and 1, and you're not running the ball with Jan Miller.
Miller was averaging 6.2 a pop. I mean, just turn around and give it.
What's wrong with that? That's what I'm used to seeing.
Hand it to freaking Proctor, dude.
Short yardage. You throw the ball on short yardage.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned.
I don't know if how Vandy is a fraud in any sense of the word, because I think what do we think Vandy is at this point? I mean, like they're a good football team. They're a solid football team. Like they do what they.
I know it will say.
Auburn is the worst
Vindicated.
team in the SEC.
Vindicated. Both of y'all vindicated.
Vindicated by Braden 23.
I'm not
Auburn
the only one.
The worst team in the SEC.
Auburn is by far the worst team in the SEC.
All right.
Auburn can't score 10 points. Mississippi State scored as many points in the first quarter against Texas A&M than Auburn did the whole game. Kentucky exists. They scored more than Auburn's going to score this week.
All right. Anyways, Joe, God love you, Joe. God love you, Joe. Let's take a quick break. Will needs a breather. He's biting his teeth, biting his fingernails. I don't know how you bite your teeth. All natural BS is what we need to spray on Will so he'll just calm down a little bit. It's that bug spray that really works, providing effective chemical-free solutions for your home, garden, patio, tailgate. Listen, it's tailgate season. You're going to get around the family, even down here in the Deep South. As you get closer to those family gatherings, the holidays, it's still pretty warm. And obviously, too, Mr. Simpkins has let us know it's mosquito season. So you need to make sure that you're taking care of those. And this is the best way to do it. All natural BS is the bug spray that really works. Okay, so let's go out of the SEC here. And I want to go to out west because I don't want to spend a ton of time talking about this game because I didn't watch it, to be honest with you. I went back and watched it on the way home today. Penn State flops at UCLA. Listen, I don't want to make this a big – I want to give – to the victors go the glory. Isn't that what you say, Will? What is it? How do you say it? To the victors go the what? What do they say over there?
I don't know.
Hats off to UCLA.
You have to know winning to know what that means.
Jerry Neuheisel, electric play caller. That was wild.
First time play caller.
It's a good thing there for you. Like it is very it's cool to see. Like that was awesome for UCLA. Good for them. Feel good story. To the victors go the spoils. There you go. I want to talk about Penn State. I'm saying this right now, Gavin. You can clip this. Whatever you want to do it. I want to stop talking about Penn State as an elite team in college football. Let's stop it. Let's please stop it. This is a horrible loss. James Franklin goes up to the podium afterwards and talks about essentially in so many words, not verbatim, they kind of let last week beat them. Like that's what they do. They let last week beat them. This to me is something that I just can't get past. Like I genuinely can't get past the fact they went over there and lost that game. UCLA is not a good football team, but for one Saturday, anything can happen. And Jerry Neuheisel was correct. That's why you love the sport, because stuff like that can happen, and it's a feel-good story. They bought in. They had 2 days to prepare, whatever it was. Penn State going over here and losing this game is a massive blow to the Big Ten. It's a massive blow to James Franklin and company, because now there is no room for error, and you have a bad black mark on your resume as a college football playoff team. So if you're sitting there even at 10-2, I don't even know if a win over Ohio State cancels out what happened against UCLA. That's how bad I think this loss is. So, look, hats off to UCLA. It's all good for them. Well, go to you. How bad is this loss for Penn State? How much can it affect them going forward?
I mean, Penn State has to win the Big Ten now to make the playoffs.
That's fair. Yeah.
They got to win the Big Ten because it's going to be obviously the winner of the Big Ten and then whoever didn't win between Ohio State and Oregon. That will be in the playoff. You lose to UCLA, I don't know how you're going to get 3 teams in.
Indiana can get there if they just keep blowing the doors off people.
Illinois can still get there.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I don't even care what Penn State does the rest of the way. This is so bad, it negates. And you got dominated. Like, you had to fight back in this game. This, to me, is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Ralph? Just let him talk. Continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Apologies, guys. I was trying to. Yes, I was good. Thank you, Matthew. I was pulling my best shit over today. I was saying, Franklin after the game said, we did not handle last week's loss well. Bryce said that. He goes, we also lost some players in that game during the week. Then everything else, travel, everything else, did not come out the way with the right energy to start the game. That's my responsibility. That has to be the biggest blow of bull crap ever. You just lost the game because you played like crap.
You got outplayed.
You're not a good team. You had the home field advantage last week against Oregon. You had some late bull crap calls last week with the referees to kind of help you get closer to that game. And one bad defensive play by Oregon. Oregon was beating you soundly throughout the game. You have not played a soul all year long. Your schedule's weak all year long, and you blow them out at home, and then you play some real teams and you lose. And you played UCLA, who hadn't won a game all year, who lost to UNLV and lost.
They hadn't had a lead at all this year.
Yeah, and you let Nico run over like 130 yards against you in 2 touchdowns.
Why are we saying Nico? He took a team to the playoff last year.
Dylan Sampson helped out, but yes, and a good defense.
James Pierce. But like overall, it is a horrible loss, a terrible loss. And Bryce, I agree. Nothing you do the rest of the year will help. Will stop this. We'll stop everyone say, you know what, we can forget that UCLA loss. No, I can't. You got 42 points. That's awful. This defense is terrible. This offense is anemic. They have two the best running backs in the country. They don't run the ball. They don't hand it off at all. They let Drew Aller run the ball. It is the worst offense I've ever watched. It's terrible.
No, it's not. There's another Big Ten team that refuses to play offense, but yes, I agree.
There's an SEC team that refuses to play offense.
Oh,
Why did you say it? No,
okay, but to sum this up,
by the
go
way,
ahead.
Speaking of the other team, the Big Ten that didn't play offense, their quarterback's out, so you know who the backup is. Wilt, Hank Brown starting for Iowa.
Brown's getting snaps. Oh, I'm in.
Let me, Matthew. Penn State fans are focused on women's volleyball season. Just bottom line here with this, I mean, this is a bad loss. When you pit the resumes up against teams, if you have a loss against a team that's going to be outside of the top 100, I'm sorry. Like, you just cannot be considered to be one of the playoff teams. I would rather see 2 G5 teams get in than Penn State get a spot.
Talk about moving the needle. That is an upgrade. I will gladly take it. I mean, he's won the Big Ten. He's been to the playoff, twice? That's more than the current coach can say.
All right, let's go final game. Final game on the docket.
Yeah.
ACC, Miami best FSU. This was a game where Miami was in control. The Hurricanes were feeling good about themselves, and Florida State battles back. This is my thing. The biggest thing between these two teams. We got some comments on our preview episode last week about how you two guys were morons for picking whatever you did, but we didn't need them to tell us that. I guess.
Did I say FSU would cover?
I think you said FSU would cover. I think that's what they got you.
They would have if Mike Norvell wasn't just inexplicably kicks a field goal. The difference between these two teams, and I'm going to say this right here. Miami can win a national championship this year. Florida State cannot. That's my biggest thing. Because everything for Florida State just looks too difficult offensively. It just doesn't look comfortable. And defensively, they just didn't tackle well. Second straight week, they did not tackle well. For Miami, I think they have, wherever you want to put them, probably a top 5 pick on their defense, at least. That's fair. Ruben Bain, he's probably going to go top 5, if not number 1, depending on who's there. Bain, what's the name of the other side? Isidore.
Yeah, they're good. That front 7 is good for Miami, and their offensive line is good. They're balanced on both sides of the football. Carson Beck does not have to be a superhero. And so, look, if Mario Cristobal doesn't get in the way of this, they can make a deep run in the playoff. There you go, Zach. Miami's lucky they don't play Georgia Tech. I think Miami, that's the biggest difference, and you saw that on the field, is Florida State got going too late, and Miami they got up to a comfortable lead. They sat on it, of course. They tried to, grind out the win. They've got some growing things they have to do, but I just think that's the biggest difference. Miami, to me, we watch them, that's a team that you're like, okay, they could go win the national championship. Florida State, they could go to Charlotte, but I don't know what they could do from beyond there. So that's kind of where I sit with that. Is I just think that Miami's the better football team. It showed up, and overall, I still really like the Hurricanes. I was I don't know, and Gavin have to remind me. I'm really tempted to put them as the number 1 team in the country because I think they played some good competition and they've beaten them. So that's my take on it. Will, what you got?
I just took exception to your comment that Florida State, everything on offense looks too difficult. I don't know how in 2025 people still do not understand Gus Malzahn's offense. When it looks difficult, that's when it's at its best because it confuses the defense. And I think it was the opening drive. There was a wheel route, and I said, how in 2025 are people still not covering the wheel route in Gus Malzahn's offense? It's a staple. What are we doing? Florida State, they're not done. That's for sure.
No, they're not done. They're not done. I just think I'll say this and then throw it to you, Ralph. Between Malachi Toney and C.J. Daniels, Carson Beck has the 2 best options since he's had Beck and McConkey at Georgia. Like that's the 2 best options right there.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you Malachi Toney is a freshman, right? Is he a freshman?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, he's unbelievable. He's made some impressive plays in that game. He torched the entire Florida State defense twice.
Twice he did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Miami, man. They're a good team. And Matthew said to come in a minute ago, best team top to bottom. Defense is great.
I'm cool with that.
Offense is, very, very solid. They run the ball very well for a team that doesn't have to run the ball. I mean, it wasn't like a flashy run game, but they just got the first down when needed. They load the box, run it right down their throat, get the first down. All right, spread them back out. Let's throw it deep again. It was a simple offensive game, and you just can't stop it. You could not stop it. They ran screen plays. They threw it over the top of you, just ran up the middle. They didn't have to do anything flashy. Just said, here's the game plan. Try and stop us right now.
One thing on that note, Ralph, you talked about is they're so complementary. They can run the football. They don't have to do it to win. They can throw the football. They don't have to do anything. They just be themselves, and they're winning games.
It's a simple
Shannon Dawson is auditioning for a head coaching job, in my opinion. He has done a great job. And by the way, what we talked about in the offseason got laughed at, that DC hire they made has revolutionized this team. He's a good DC. Front 7 looks good. The back end looks good for Miami. They got veterans everywhere. I love them.
And I like it. I love the way they play defensively. It's kind of fun to watch them play. They get after the ball. They fly around. It's a fun defense. When you got guys who have some seniors on this team and some veteran leaders like Ruben Bain, it kind of just helps out the entire team because everyone kind of watches how he plays. He goes 100% every time. And there's some guys who are going to the draft next year who are going to be a top 10 pick. They kind of don't go 100% every time and kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit on one play. He doesn't. He goes full speed every play. He's in every play. He's in the backfield. He makes he's a great run stopper. He's kind of the perfect defensive end right now. He really is.
Physical. 5 tackles for loss for this Miami front 7 against Florida State. So we like Miami. Obviously, we'll see what happens with them the rest of the way in the ACC. We'll address this, and then we're going to go to our winners.
I'm tired of answering this every single week. Yes. I would hire him today, mid-season, lifetime contract.
All right, real quick, take a quick break. Ralph, I'm going to talk about my friends over at Cajun Cousins Company. Look, we got an awesome ad coming out with them tomorrow. Make sure you check it out. They do fantastic stuff. Got a tailgate with them this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. LSU, South Carolina. So, look, we're excited to do that. We're excited to hang out with them. Make sure you check out their pepper sauce, all their merch. And if you need them for an event and anywhere in the Southeast, make sure to contact them over at CajunCousinsCO.com. Okay, winners of the week. I've got mine. I think, and I'm saying this, I'll put it out in the ethers. I think Texas A&M is really good. I think Texas A&M is a playoff team. Look, they beat Mississippi State 31-9. That defense is suffocating.
Did hot take on this show.
That defense is suffocating with what they can do. And they had Mississippi State, who knows what their offense is, has a veteran quarterback who's played in that system, Jeff Lebby, who knows what he wants to do. To me, Texas A&M had them all out of sorts. Look, offensively, they weren't able to do a lot. But to me, Marcel Reed Look, Colin Klein's wanted to make him more of a pocket passer, and so they're trying to fit him into that, and it is what it is. He's dynamic. I thought he makes some good decisions with the football. They have some serious talent, though, at the wideout spot. And KC Concepcion, they obviously, too, they have Mario Craver, the former Mississippi State receiver. That dude is unreal. And they've got a couple other ones, too. I think that Mike Elko's focus defensively is going to win them some football games. Offensively, can they move the ball enough? I think A&M is a team that they're my winner of the week. They just suffocated a Mississippi State team that's kind of been the darling of the SEC outside of Vanderbilt. So to me, I think A&M might be the best team in the SEC, just currently based off of what I've seen. But look, they got wins over Notre Dame, Auburn, Mississippi State. I wouldn't be getting against that. But just in terms of I think it's a defense in College Station that is daunting under Mike Elko, and I think they've got an offense that can really strike the big play. That was a question for me, explosiveness, and they're showing that so far. So that's my winners of the week. I think Mike Elko, Texas A&M, is a legitimate playoff team as we sit here in the first weekend of October.
I have two,
Okay.
and one's I got Duke. Duke goes on the road, cross country. The travel, it was hard for them, everything. And they go across the country and beat the crap out of Cal because they show up on game day, unlike some teams who have to cross the country and play.
We're talking about Cal.
Yeah, I was trying to make. I'm making fun of.
We know their offense.
I'm making fun of Penn State. That's the
I
whole
know
reason. Yeah. So, but look, they go across country. They went down early, and I texted Will. I said, "This has got to be painful." But he said he was pulling for Cal at one point. And then Duke goes out and blows.
We shouldn't have said anything. We should have not said a word because as soon as we said something, the game turned.
Yeah, and Duke went out there and showed they're a better team than just some people think they are. They've had some tough games this year. Obviously, the Illinois game, they look bad at first, but I think Duke's a better team than they are. And then my last team is Troy. You get the belt back. Hey, that's all that matters to me. Don't care rest of the season.
I'd like the record to show that Ralph had free tickets to go to the game, did not pass it up. So we have to question his fandom of Troy at this point.
I didn't want to stay.
Reserved seats, too. Reserved seats,
Dude,
Ralph.
You could walk in there and sit anywhere you want to in the first place. I don't know where you think reserved seats is a thing.
I don't know. This came from high up in the athletic.
Yeah, I know who it came from.
Yeah.
He's the best voice in sports. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Right behind Bryce Koon.
Will, your winner of the week.
You know my winner. The only game that I enjoyed watching. Navy takes down Air Force 34-31. They take the first leg of the Commander-in-Chief's trophy competition this year.
They threw for 300 yards.
Eli Heidenreich he should be the Heisman Trophy winner. He should be the Heisman Trophy winner. If you probably don't know who that is because you don't support the troops, you don't watch real football, and you don't watch Navy play. Go watch Navy play. This dude, pound for pound, the best player in the country. I think I'm just going full on Navy. They might be the only team I watch.
When have you seen Navy throw for 340 yards?
We need to figure out how we can get up to Annapolis. That's what we need to figure out.
Drew Cronick. That's your answer, Ralph. Drew Cronick. Eli Heidenreich, 8 catches, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns. Blake Horvath, 20 of 26, 339 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm waiting patiently and excitedly for a service academy to make the college football playoff. If Navy keeps playing like that, they'll be in the college football playoff.
They're a good team.
By the way, did you see how the game ended? A delay of game against the defense for a guy from Air Force tried to hit the snap.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
The only bad thing about Navy, they have a gauntlet of
Ups and Lee Sparkle Shoes is Ralph's winner of the week. Okay.
Go watch real football. That'll wake you up.
Last piece of the puzzle. People want us to talk about this, so we will. Absolute disaster in Chapel Hill. Let's talk about it because as we round out the show, we will talk about best bets. We went 0 for 3, by the way. We don't know anything.
I'm starting my preparation for punishment now. I'm not eating until the season's over.
What? Okay, I don't even know where to start here because, let's just start here. Okay, when Bill Belichick was announced as the hire at North Carolina, a lot of people laughed, people threw it off, and then this other section of fans, if you remember, we released our ACC head coaches.
I
that's
love
crazy.
Nuke jacket.
our ACC head coaches rankings, people are like, how do you have Bill Belichick this low? Well, 1 month into the season, you can see why. I genuinely don't say this. I'm not trying to like come after a program. Probably will. There's several programs he'd like to come after. And for Ralph, there's one in Lower Alabama that he'd like to come after.
Well, they already got beat.
Well, I don't know what's happening, and I don't think North Carolina should be taken seriously, and it's a shame because that program has money and they could be good. They've got the brand value we talk about. It doesn't matter how bad they're going to be; they're going to be talked about in realignment. This is a disaster. Like they're not even competitive. They're not even competitive. They're one of the worst Power 4 teams in the conference.
They're 2-3.
Have you?
Their wins are blowout wins.
Against who?
Who have they played?
Charlotte and Richmond.
All right, Penn State.
Their losses are blowout losses. They're somewhere in the middle.
No, they're not.
They're going to go beat Cal.
And what would that tell us?
What
would that tell us?
That they can win a Power 4 game.
I have a.
So there's some programs that hadn't beaten a Power 4 team this year.
Did anyone watch this game? Like honestly, I know Bryce, you were out of town.
I did watch it.
You did watch it. Did you watch the whole game through though? Towards the very
not through. I've watched bits and pieces. I've gone back and watched the game.
Okay, I don't think you saw this. Will, did you watch the game all the way through?
No.
Okay. Did you not hear that Bill Belichick called timeouts the last drive of the game? There was 15 seconds on the clock. He called timeout. They had 1 second on the clock. Calls timeout. Max Johnson's still playing, by the way. The whole starting offense was in the game the entire time.
Max Johnson, dude. I mean, I hate that they're doing this to him.
It was awful. Clemson was out there just running the JV team at one point. Trent Patterson was playing quarterback, or Pearman. I don't know who he is.
Nathan Peterman.
Let's let Bill go hire a real offensive coordinator instead of Freddie Kitchens. Somebody that knows the college game. I mean, honestly, he should fire him now and just promote Will Friend because those 4 or 5 games Will Friend was Auburn's play caller were electric. Shot new life into Auburn's offense when Will Friend took over play calling duties.
I mean, there's no hope though. This is dumb. I mean, Bill Belichick needs to go. Like they need to fire him after the end of the season. This is dumb.
It was a fun project at first.
I don't think any of it is fun, Ralph. I mean, respectfully, I don't think any part of this. You're trying to be nice and then just rip off the Band-Aid.
I'm saying this because I know what he was interviewed before the game on the field, and he said we just need my recruits in here. We need to get this recruiting class and these transfer portal guys in, and then you'll start seeing better outcome. And I just don't see it. Like, I mean, what you have on roster now is not bad. It's not a horrible roster, but you cannot win with any of this. This offense is terrible. This defense is terrible. Like, Clemson's running trick plays in the first drive of the game. On first play of the game. It was embarrassing.
They are somewhere in the middle. Every game they've been a part of has been a blowout. One side, either they've been blown out or they've blown somebody out. They have to be somewhere in the middle. The law of averages is going to make it.
So they're bad. They're just bad. We're good with saying that.
They're going to beat Cal. They're going to beat Syracuse. They're going to beat Stanford. They can beat Wake Forest.
They're losing the last 2 games.
I don't think they beat.
I mean, that'll give them 6. If they win those, that's 6 wins. They go to a bowl game. That is a big success in North Carolina.
I mean, you say they beat Charlotte by 17.
That's a blowout.
Charlotte should not be getting close.
Charlotte's
They scored 3. It was the second game of the year.
They played
They're
at Charlotte.
Quarterback.
They played at Charlotte. At Charlotte.
Okay.
Bill Belichick's buyout, by the way, is right now north of $20 million. They did give him up front the first 3 years guaranteed. Anything above the $17 million would make it one of the 5 highest in college football history. This is crazy. If Belichick takes another job, he owes North Carolina $1 million.
Do not bring the Panamanian Prince into this. Do not. I mean,
well, I hear what you're saying in this. Like, they have beaten some bad football teams, and they've lost to some okay football teams.
Yeah.
They're a bad Power 4 football team, and they shouldn't be. I think that's the problem. They should not be this bad.
Give him time.
Jonesy, I don't even know where you find – like, where would you find that? All right, best bets recap. We want to talk
time.
about
Any other first-year coach, we'd be saying give him time. Yes, it's Bill Belichick. We should probably hold him to a different standard, but it's 5 games.
it's 5 games with your
What chance to do
girlfriend
that?
/ wife running the program.
What is
Hey.
she again?
Look, the first mistake is having. Never mind. I probably shouldn't use that word. Your problem is you got Bammers running your offense. That's the problem.
I
What
got to
happened
go
real
back and
quick?
find our best bets real quick. The best bets recap before we get out of here.
I had Texas State minus 13.5 on the road against Arkansas State. They lost.
That's wild.
It was the worst performance I've ever seen by defense. It was pitiful. It was back and forth the entire game. Should have took the over. That was free. That was free.
Did we post this?
No.
We didn't post them.
I just went back and looked. No, I didn't see it on there. I did want to mention one thing, though, Bryce. Alex put this in winners of the week. Western Carolina's quarterback went 46
That's
of 40.
insane.
That's crazy. I don't care.
There you go,
who
Will.
they
Shout
play.
out Kerwin Bell, head coach for the Catamounts up there, former Florida quarterback.
What a game. 46
Big things happening in Cullowhee, North Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful
Why?
area.
Why can Western Carolina get a quarterback? How do
That's
they get a
crazy.
quarterback?
Will anything you want to say before we get out of here about it's Deep South's oldest rivalry week?
Oh, boy.
Go put all that you can afford on Georgia minus 4.5. I don't know what they're seeing in Vegas that Georgia's only a 4.5 point favorite. I mean, Auburn can't even score 4 points, so I don't know where they're getting that number from.
I mean, I genuinely think Auburn can win this football game.
I don't know what you're watching.
The magic and the mystique of Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Auburn has to be good for that to work. Auburn is not good. The fans
Wasn't there a
don't.
year that Auburn beat Alabama and they weren't good?
When was that?
I'm asking, wasn't there a year that happened?
I mean,
No,
not in the
really.
last 15.
I mean, they beat Georgia and Alabama the same year in 2017.
Yeah, they were good though.
Should have
They
been
were good. And in 2019 they beat Alabama. They were good.
Won 9 games.
I mean, that's the last time they beat Alabama was 2019. So I can't remember before that. You 13.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is
I meant to say this earlier, but I didn't want to make it about Auburn that early in the show. Watching Texas, I had deja vu. I thought I was watching Auburn because Arch Manning would not throw the ball.
Yes, we know.
We know.
We know.
It's gonna be a fun week. It's gonna be a fun week. Tomorrow night we'll be live talking about Georgia Tech.
So-
We'll dive into the mailbag. We'll be talking about Auburn and Georgia later this week. We will have them on our preview docket. Deep South's oldest rivalry. It'll be a lot of fun to talk about. I can't wait. Auburn hasn't had a winning season this decade so far.
Oh, well aware.
I just want to remind everyone listening and watching. There's a lot of people that think they're going to get this gotcha against Will. You won't. There's nothing to get him on. He knows. He's aware.
Everything that you've said, I've already said and hashed out and
What
screamed
does Ralph
about.
say? Everything that
I
you
put
said,
holes in
he
the
said
wall.
the mirror to
You
himself.
can't tell me anything that I don't tell myself 3 feet in front of the mirror every morning.
And that's exactly how Will feels about Auburn football.
Exactly.
If Will can beat Georgia on College Ball 26, real life Auburn can.
That's the only.
I will
game
say this,
play
though.
with.
And we'll never obviously do this, but we will never do this. Will has texted us all year long. This is what's going to happen.
And in fairness, yeah.
I mean,
yes.
and we're not going to release those messages, obviously, but Will's been right the entire time. And I said it last week on the show that I'm finally with Will. I'm like, I get it. I'm 100% get it.
I was saying it in the spring.
Some of those off-season, yeah. Just,
Oh, that's insane. That's insane. Well, listen, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll be
Get
live.
Drew Chronic to the Plains. Auburn doesn't care about football. Let's just run triple option.
he just said Drew Chronic. There you go.
I mean, I'll be a CEO because I don't know X's and O's. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, boy. Let's just...
Gotta love it. College football season. It's wild. It's wacky. We appreciate you tuning in, hanging out with us here on a Sunday evening. We'll catch you tomorrow, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, talking Georgia Tech. Wednesday night, we'll be live again, previewing week number 7 of college football season. Crazy that we're already here. Some Behind Enemy Lines episodes coming here, obviously, this week. Tech plays Virginia Tech, so Tecmo Bowl. Going to be fun. We'll talk about it. Thanks for watching. Ralph Leary, Will Mannis, my name is Bryce Koon. We'll catch you next time here on the Crowded Booth.
Pile in here and make yourself feel at home. The Crowded Booth is coming on. The Crowded Booth with Bryce Koon.